All right, good morning. This is Dr. Mia Lueth. It is January 1st, 2026. It's 9:04 a.m. Eastern New York Time, USA. And I do not know. Let me see. I'm going to look up the Jet schedule. There seems to have made this very user fan friendly, like the Tampa Bay Lightning, just far and away. Fan interaction. I mean, I still love my Florida ice hockey. Like even the stinking rats, I don't even care. Okay, well we know that Brad Marchand is the king of the rats. We get it. Yeah, Winnipeg. Like, I don't know. You guys give me a job so I can help you. Right. Word of mouth about me. That's how I get my NHL clientele. Let me see. January 2026. So that lost again last night, which we're now, yeah, I mean, Ottawa's making jokes about hitting the bottom of the East. I'm like, ha! Ha ha ha! The Jets hit the bottom of the entire thing so hard we sank your ship. Sorry, Ottawa. Yeah. 7 p.m. Eastern. So, yes, it's a 6 Central game. So, 7. Uh, Kind of inconvenient for me, but whatever, man. I just work it out. I work it out. Toronto, great. Buffalo's starting to pick up. This is good. Well, there's a lot of things I could say, but I am gonna say like one. Okay, so I watched the Kenny and Rennie show last night, and he was mentioning something about Hellebuck. Sean Reynolds was, and he's not bashing. I don't understand that. Like some of you people take the wrong take things the wrong way on chat. So it's like this. Sean Reynolds not bashing Connor Hellebuck. Well, I mean, 'cause that's not what he was saying. Anyway, Connor Hellebuck needs to sit for crying out loud. I mean, I don't care. Like Alpha Omega override everybody here. What are you doing? Okay, first of all, right, Eric Comrie has a contract. Second of all, he's getting cold. Okay, I don't care. And if Hellebuck were straight honest, look, I'm goalie to goalie, talking to Fetts and Hellebuck. Last 2 games, right, you haven't been entirely straight on point as per the usual. So if we're not winning games with Hellebuck in, I mean, okay, Eric Comrie's getting cold. That's too many consecutive games for Connor Hellebuck, all in a row. I know what I'm talking about when I'm looking at goalies. I don't open my mouth until I'm sure I know the goalies in the situation and who's right with them and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Like, I'm not just your everyday average fan just spouting off online. I got plenty of proof of that all over the place. Hellebuck has not been looking as spry and he looks a little tired. And Connor's getting cold. You don't want to have a cold backup because you never know what's going to happen. Okay? I mean, I don't want any more injuries. I don't want any, but it can happen in the NHL, right? Including your starting goalie. And I'll give you an example. I mean, this one's for the older crowd, but the younger crowd, you can just look it up or take my word for it. I don't know, around 2008, Marty Brodeur, he's obviously franchise goalie style over there with the New Jersey Devils, and Kevin Weeks. Weeksy, I know, I like Kevin. Uh, Weeksy was his backup. Now, of course, Weeksy knows like anybody else during that time. If you're gonna be, yeah, Marty Brodeurs backup, you're gonna be sitting on the bench. a good bit. However, you understand? Marty Berger injured his elbow and had to come out and went on the IR, injured reserve. And they put a very cold Kevin Weeks in to replace him. Kevin Weeksy was coming into that game really cold. Okay, so people are all like, "Oh my God, Weeksy sucks. Bring out Clemenson." Well, Clemenson was never, a full time NHL goalie, and was never going to become a full time NHL goalie. So, okay, some things are very deceptive in that way, making it seem like Kevin Weeks was not that good and Clemenson was better. Well, no, Clemenson was actually playing, and he was not cold. He was playing in the AHL, so he was a bit more warmed up with Kevin Weeks. Weeksy just came in there straight cold. You understand? Like, I will tell people to shut their pie holes, and I will be a complete, unruly pain in everybody's everything when it comes to goaltending in the National Hockey League. I stayed quiet for a very, very long time. But I'm not going to do that anymore. Because I knew that situation. I saw it the way it actually was. So just Connor Hellebuyck needs to sit a game. Point blank. He's played too many consecutive games. And Eric Connor's getting cold. And you don't want a cold backup. So let's just hope it's Collins getting nets. All right? Because the last two games for Connor Hellebuyck he's not been at his best. Just put it to you that way. All right? He's played too many consecutive games. Perfetti. Okay, now people who've been paying attention and watching these games, say what you want about Jonathan Toews, but when Jonathan Toews has been on the second line, okay, he's been setting up Cole Perfetti pretty well. Okay? He's been setting up Cole Perfetti throughout the season pretty well. Cole Perfetti is constantly shifting around, thinking he's got time, trying to find the right angle to shoot from. He's constantly, okay? And in last night's game, of course, 2-1 loss, right? That was not exactly a full 60-minute Jets game, but they're getting there. At the end of the day, that everybody's favorite saying now, right? I think it's fun. Like anytime Coach Scott Arneal says at the end of the day, drink. Right. Well, you gotta have some fun with it. That's how you stay a fan, an ice hockey fan. Do you understand? Because like long-time ice hockey fans will tell you they've been through some seasons with franchises, been at it for a while, yeah, like 20 years or more. And I can assure you, it's not always been, yay, we're making the playoffs and blah 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 blah. Right? Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was there the year the New Jersey Devils hit that wall. Yeah. No, I went to a game in the barn toward the end of the season. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you guys are really subdued around here. Right? Because the reality was sinking in that this would be the first year in many that the New Jersey Devils were not going to make the playoffs. Like, and I kept trying to cheer them up too. Like, hey, at least you're not a Washington Capitals fan. Come on. It's not that bad. I know. I was actually trying to cheer up the New Jersey Devils fans. Yeah, like, right. I'm still sure people do that. Anyway, okay, so longtime fans, just take advice from people who've been a long time fan of an NHL franchise for more than 20 some years, okay? You gotta have a little fun, okay? And yeah, I mean, we did. We hit bottom so hard. I mean, we sank fast. Yeah, oh boy, we took a lot of fast. We hit bottom so hard that we accidentally sunk Ottawa's ship with us. Like, sorry, Ottawa. All right. Well, we might be on the Jets making history the wrong way this year, but it's just how it is. Okay. Um, I I don't like people just take a look at Perfetti video. Take a look. Taser has been setting him up to score goals, and is he playing on the wrong side? Should he be on the other side? I mean, right. I mean, here. This is what I'm trying to tell you is that you know, right. I know the Manitoba Miracle, but that was then. This is now, and he's not going to have that time and space. They don't want to give him the time and space, and they is all the other teams who know a little bit about what they're doing when they play ice hockey and play other teams. So, right, that's what I'm getting at. And angular cheilitis, people. Oh, I know I don't have white teeth, and certainly did not brush my hair. I popped up out of bed and put on my. It's kind of a little bit chilly here. It's not as chilly as it is in Canada, so yeah. But I'd rather just have seriously cold weather and live in Canada. Anyway, a gal can dream. I need help with that though. You know what I'm saying? Just as a side note, I'm around a lot of people who claim they don't have family and they understand what it's like for me. And okay, yes, they do have family. Because then I hear them talking about their daughter who has this not, or right, their cousins who they get to right, or their uncle who's still understand. No, you don't know. You don't know what it's like to be me. Don't. It's better just to not say anything. Okay, because I've had people like, oh, I don't have family either. I'm like, well, your mom's still alive, right? But your kids are still alive, though, right? Sometimes it pays to just stop and think about the words that are going to come out of your mouth. Don't. It's just getting to the point where I am yet another person just recently trying to tell me, oh, I know how you feel. I don't have any family either, blah, blah. And yet, just this morning, was talking about how his daughter called him after 20 years and he got to talk to his grandkids and all this. And I'm like, no, that's different. They're still alive. You may not talk to them, but that's different. Okay, mine, they're all dead. I got my uncles, aunts, all dead. Brothers, all dead. My children, all dead. I have no grandparents. I have no parents. They're all dead. No, you all people. Sometimes the way people word things, you need people to feel sorry for you because it's not the same thing if they're still alive and you just don't talk to them. And I really think you should because you actually don't want to be me. I even wrote a song about it, which is up online for free. Yeah, I wrote a song about it. Like, I mean, one of my brothers and I, yeah, we go back and forth, but a lot of that was just sibling sparring. We didn't. We honestly didn't think we hated each other. Plus, he had drug and alcohol issues, so a lot of that was that. Right. Anyway, so I don't know the way people say things, but the hockey fans that have not been hockey fans for like 20 years or more, you should start taking advice from some of us who have been hockey fans. So I've been an ice hockey fan since '78, and there's ways we get through this, and sometimes humor. Okay, it is kind of fun, right? Okay, just you have to like look at these things and understand. Oh, look, well, I mean, hey, we might make history. Yeah, we're making history like a different way. But I don't understand what's going on with Perfetti. To be honest with you, okay, Jonathan Tays, for a good portion of the season thus far, has been setting him up to score goals. And yet, take a look at what he does. He's constantly trying to fiddle with it and, find the right angle and get the perfect shot. And I mean, and last night's game, he tried at least twice, okay, to shoot from a pass. So he was past the puck and he tried to shoot that puck and he couldn't do it. I mean, is he on the wrong side? I mean, I wouldn't think that's the case. I mean, that probably would have been something that was found out a while ago, but maybe he should try playing on the other side. I mean, it can't hurt to try at this point, right? Also, if Taser's going to be setting up somebody to score, well, then why don't you put Perfetti on the fourth line? It's better than sitting him. And then put Nyquist on the second line, and Taser can set up Nyquist to score. Okay? I mean, they both play on the same side. All right now, we are at that point where it can't hurt to try. Okay? You can't keep Comrie that cold. Right? I'm goalie, like saying, just sit this one out, Mr. Hellebuck. I know your game. You're looking a little tired. All right. So, right, the Perfetti thing, it's just like many times, Jonathan Tays has been setting up Cole Perfetti to score, and he's just, trying to turn and find the right angle, and nobody's going to give him the time to do that. So, it, maybe playing him on the other side, but to be honest with you, if you put him on the fourth line and put Nyquist up there, and Jonathan Tays can set up Nyquist to try and score, because you got to do something. And Taser's not doing that badly, by the way, people. Okay. When his lineys can't score and he's setting them up to score, yeah. All right. I mean, it's better than sitting Perfetti. But you can't just keep giving this guy chances on that line anymore. Last night he whiffed on two because he was trying to shoot directly from a pass instead of stopping it, settling it. You understand? Okay, he can't seem to do that. Perfetti has to like stop it and settle it, and try and figure out how to. He can't shoot directly from a pass because he tried last night twice. It didn't work out. Okay, this is never anything personal when I'm talking about ice hockey. Okay, right? But point blank, if you don't want to sit him, then put him on the fourth line and switch him with Nyquist. And keep Jonathan Tays on the second line because he's been setting up his lineys to score and they're not scoring. And that particular line I'm talking about is Cole Perfetti. Okay, he's not going to get set up like the Manitoba Miracle. You understand? That's just not going to happen. Guys are not going to give him the time and space to settle the puck, which he seems to need to do. Okay, but there are many guys in the NHL who don't need to. When they get past the puck and they're within shooting range, they just shoot directly from the pass. They don't need to settle it down. Cole Perfetti taking the time to, so you understand, it's not working out. This isn't personal, but Perfetti, somebody's got to make an executive decision. You can't keep Perfetti on the second line especially when it's been seen that Jonathan Tays was definitely setting him up to score goals, and he can't seem to do it, and he can't seem to shoot directly from a pass. Come on, everybody, look at it. You know I'm not like making up bullshit, and I also know how to analyze an NHL game. And people want to talk about bringing up the youth, and it's just like, well, maybe one or two. You can't bring up all six lines anyway. What are you people talking about? Right? People get on chat and you're talking and blah blah blah, and you don't know what you're talking about. That's not even possible in the NHL. You can't maneuver an entire roster that way, okay? It just doesn't happen because there's rules and there's, laws and all this other kind of shit that makes that not possible in the first fucking place. Okay? If you put one up, you got to figure out who sits. You got to, right? Nobody's on IR. Okay? Like, some of you don't really know what you're saying, and you don't really know what you're talking about because they're like, it's not rocket science. I'm like, well, it's a little more, complicated than you guys seem to think it is. And tanking on purpose out loud is actually against the fucking law. There are GMs that would not do that on purpose, like Danny Briere, Steve Eiserman. Is Ron Wilson still a GM? Right. I gotta, keep track of so many of you. It might be a small community, but it's still a lot for one person to handle. Anyway, okay, like I'm saying, friendly wise to Hellebuyck, Hellebuyck needs to sit a game right now. If you gotta force him to do it, then just force him to do it. Combs should not, right? Don't let Combs get cold. We may need him. Also, he's got a contract, and you know what I'm saying. I don't think he's got a confidence issue. I know what Hellebuck's game looks like. He's played too many consecutive games altogether, and he's been looking tired last two. Perfetti, I don't know. Is he playing on the wrong side and just nobody noticed before? I mean, that seems unlikely. Okay, but you need to put somebody with Jonathan Tays who can respond to the fact that he's setting up people to score goals. And clearly, Perfetti can't handle it right now. So put Nyquist, who's rearing, he's itching, he's hungry, he wants to score goals. Let Jonathan Tays set up Nyquist and put Perfetti on the fourth line. Also, splitting up Kyle Connor, and Shifley. I don't know what their contracts look like. I don't know what the expectations were. I don't know what the rules were. I don't know about the private conversations, but I gotta tell you, at this point, it can't hurt to try. Right, first and third line now. It can't hurt to try. Well, that's the point. It's like, one of them. If one of them doesn't want to be a driver, right? You understand? They can still, right, be on a line with someone else driving. I mean, at this point, it it, it really can't like damage the chances of this club. You know what I'm saying? And you can just switch them back if it really starts going downhill. Okay. Now I can understand here and there. Maybe you do get Lambeau up. I mean, I like Lambeau and Ford. Some of them, though, they're still being developed. Okay, you really don't want to put like extra high pressure on them to like try and come up and save a franchise. You definitely don't want to do that to goalies. Okay, right. Other franchises have made those mistakes before. Okay, so some of you're all chatting and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well, I mean, the Winnipeg Jets have learned from other teams too. I mean, other teams learn from, right. But here is the also the biggest issue is that with only really one line and Josh Morrissey and Stanimal. I mean, hey, Stanimal did it, man. He didn't get a penalty last night, and he scored a goal. I know, like that's right, Stanimal. That's right. I give you kudos. I know. I don't understand where this animal hate was coming from last night. He's not that bad. Anyway, I mean, take a look at what I'm saying. Just take a look at what I'm saying. Okay, I know I don't have neat graphics, and I'm a female, and blah 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 blah. And you guys might think I'm new to ice hockey, and I'm not. I'm not feeling so well today. Um, I probably can't get my new hip yet. I gotta push that back yet once again. Got a sliding hiatal hernia, and now I'm gonna have to get my thyroid checked again. Make sure I'm not finding any traces of the stupid ass cancer. I mean, I know my life is probably a bit short, and geez. In fact, I'm still walking around. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. At this point, it really can't hurt to put Shifes and Kyle on different lines. And, one of them doesn't have to be a driver, but it should be the first and third line. Because Jonathan Tays was doing okay to see. You guys just weren't paying attention to the fact because of all your Perfetti loving, for the, 1.6 goal. Yeah, well, look how much time and space he had. Well, he's not getting that anymore. Okay? Jonathan Tays has been setting up Cole Perfetti to score, and Cole Perfetti's been selling it and fidgeting and trying to find the right angle. And I mean, it's just like it ain't working out. So how about you let Jonathan Tays set up Nyquist to score goals because Nyquist is hungry. Nyquist is in there. Nyquist wants to score goals. Okay? Maybe Nyquist needs to be with somebody who sets up dudes to score goals. Nyquist is not afraid to get in the mix. He's not afraid to go through traffic. You understand? Maybe Nyquist and Tays need to be on the same line. But if you're not going to sit Perfetti, then he needs to go down on the fourth line because he's a detriment right now this season, point blank. Remember, this isn't personal. Okay? But the proof is there. Eyeball proof is there. What I'm saying is true. And he tried last night at least twice to score directly from a pass, like many other goal scorers in the National Hockey League do. And he couldn't do it. Like, he needs a little work. He's less of a detriment on the fourth line. And maybe he should experiment playing on the other side. I'm not sure what to say. Okay? But some of the stuff you guys are saying, just bring up all the youth. It's just not even possible, given the rules and regulations. You understand? All right. Helly needs to take a break. He needs to sit. He's played too many consecutive games. I know his game. He's looking tired. I mean, I'm sure the team does not appreciate the fact that they are where they are. A lot of analysts and other people and people who know they don't look like a team that's at the bottom of the barrel. I don't think they're going to end up at the bottom of the barrel at this point. However, okay, Chevy should still put confidence in the core guys. Okay, because they're signed. Everybody, just face that fact. Okay, but some more drastic things need to be done. I mean, they still do have a chance to get to the playoffs, right? But not the way things are. So I think everybody's been talking about splitting up Connor and maybe bringing up a Moose or two, and it's just like, no. Okay, something very easy can happen. Put Perfetti on the fourth fucking line and letting Nyquist, right, be the receiver of all the nice setups that Jonathan Toews has been doing. Because that's what Jonathan Toews has been doing. And Nyquist is ready to go. He wants to score goals badly. He's not afraid to get a ball in the mix. And yeah, I mean, Kyle Connor, and right, I mean, you put him on like line 1 and 3, and one of them might need a driver. Okay, but that's possible. All right, it's also going to give other teams something to consider. Because other teams that that's making their line changes easy, they know who to shut down. All right, you move those two and move some people around, especially Perfetti on the fourth, and then we're trying to move Kyle. And okay, right, other teams are going to have to adjust, and we might get some advantage on ice, because that shit happens in the National Hockey League, ladies and gentlemen. So ignore me all you want, but don't anybody get on fucking line and tell me I'm some kind of hero, hockey style. Don't anybody get on fucking line and tell me I'm awesome and blah blah blah, and hockey family. Don't anybody come at me ever again. How hockey family looks out for each other, and blah blah blah. I mean, military family doesn't even look out for each other anymore. I get it. It's all just empty words. Well, mine aren't. Not hell of a bashing. I'm saying the man needs to sit down and take a break. Eric Comrie should not get cold. Stats and numbers are deceptive sometimes. True story. All right? And I've been paying attention to the National Hockey League. I watch other franchises. I watch other games. And what I'm telling you is, no, we don't look like a team that's just hit bottom so hard the ground shook. Okay? But we still have people who can do something about it. And Perfetti is a major issue. All right? We've given him enough time on the second line. And, right, splitting up Kyle and Scheisse will also give other teams something that they need to get used to and adjust to, and that could give us an advantage. Okay, you got to think about it that way too. And if it's not really working out and it goes south, just put them back together. But all the other teams now know who to shut down. So we're definitely not going to make headway without certain things happening. But yeah, you can't just bring up the Moose. And some of them still need development, okay? It doesn't even work that way. You're 23 on a roster. Nobody's on the IR. You can't, right. Somebody's going to have to go down. And some of these guys you can't put down into the Moose. All right? And we're not at 0% chance of playoffs. And we're not at the trade deadline either. But we are running out of runway, and somebody's got to do something about Perfetti right now. Putting him on the fourth line and letting Nyquist, right, play with Taser, so Taser can set up Nyquist to score. Maybe Nyquist will start putting numbers up. Perfetti is not looking so pro right now. Just gotta admit it. Okay, right. Playing Toronto tonight. They got to play that 60 minutes. We all know that. At the end of the day, some of us might be drunk. Like, yeah, I heard the guys on CJOB last night. Like, maybe we should make up drinking games every time. Like, yeah, and somebody in the chat put, every time coach says at the end of the day, drink. Like, I can't drink alcohol, the kind of meds I'm on. I'm not really feeling so well myself. My health, declined terribly, and there's a lot of waiting, and there's a lot of jacking with insurance companies and other kind of shit, and I'm running out of fight. But I know for a fact, 100%, the Jets aren't looking like a last place team. And I don't think they're going to end up in last place. But the 60 minutes has to happen. And Perfetti is an issue. Just freaking face it. And right, Hellbuck needs to have a night off. All right. So go Jets, right? Some of us, it happens. Your team has a really good season, and then like little things happen, and you're all expecting. But then if they don't have such a great season, it's a battle season for them, clearly. Okay, and yes, some things do need to be done other than just moving around. I mean, I am saying point blank, if you're not going to sit Perfetti, put him on the fourth line. Like now, Nyquist is hungry to score. So if Taser has been setting up Perfetti to score and he cannot get it done, then put Nyquist with Taser so Taser can set him up to score. I mean, clearly Perfetti is not able to score directly from a pass. He needs to settle the puck down. Well, a lot of goal scorers in the NHL, if they're set up properly, don't need to do that. It's not personal. Howie needs a break, point blank. Okay, everybody? So sometimes you gotta have a little fun with it, okay? So we can make some jokes about like hitting the bottom so hard the earth shook. We can make some jokes about, certain things because that's how sometimes you get through a nice hockey season. I mean, they know, the team knows. At the end of the day, as Coach would say, the team knows. And I don't hear the coach making excuses. I'm saying nobody's been talking about Perfetti, and I'm like, I am. I mean, before you even go splitting up, Kyle Connor and Shifley, move Perfetti off the second line, like right now. If not, you got to sit him. He can't seem to score off a pass. And he's constantly got to settle it down. He doesn't have that time and space. All right. Or, maybe try playing him on the other side. But do that on the fourth line. Jonathan Toews has been really good at setting up other guys to score. It's hard to get points when you set up guys who apparently can't score. So, I don't really think the Chevy's standing pat. But right now, what I'm saying is, okay, why is nobody talking about moving Perfetti? It's the most obvious situation. He can't do it. He needs to work on it on the fourth line. And Nyquist needs his fucking opportunities from a pro fucking ice hockey player to set him up to score. Right? There's some of you talking smack all over the chats, and it's just like, that's not even realistic to the NHL, some of it. And any team that openly and publicly tanks on purpose is breaking the law. And you're also saying that you've lost total faith in your team, your club, and it also, right. I mean, Waiter's 27. He's a chatter who's on a lot of chats. And he kept saying that's not the way it works. And I'm like, I know it's not. What I'm saying is, excuse me, put Perfetti on the fourth line. Hellebuck needs to take a night off. Comms needs to get warm again. And we need to start running him over like we are a tank. Perfetti's an issue. Put him on the fourth line. All right. Go Jets go. We got it in us. Okay? We're fans. Don't get angry. Cheer these motherfuckers on until they just can't fucking make mistakes. Look, Stanimal did not get a single penalty, and he scored a goal. It is possible. Move Perfetti. Go Jets, go.